Okay, so last week I did this study of this shot from the first Spider-Man film of Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin, portrayed by Willem Dafoe. So the reason I did this study, well, first of all, I chose this shot because, well, I've always loved the Spider-Man films. I love this portrayal of this character. Willem Dafoe does a fantastic job. And I love this shot of the Green Goblin taking over Norman with the subtle contrast in the light. So the reason I did this study was to see what I could learn about making portraits, about how the lighting works on the face, how the structure of the face works, the wrinkles, the colors, all of that. So ultimately it took me about 8 hours to make this piece, at least according to Procreate. I worked on it over the span of about 5 days. It wasn't like consecutively, it wasn't like every hour of every day. It was about 30-minute intervals with maybe 15-minute breaks for about 2 hours every day or so, maybe a little more. I used the off-canvas reference that's available on Procreate. I didn't put the image on the canvas at any point. I didn't use any kind of transforming tools, no select, no, nothing like that. If I did, it was just for the whole sketch, probably, maybe just for that. I did try to limit myself to only 3 layers to separate the body and hair, the clothes, and the background, just because the brush I was using was very mixy, and I really didn't want to risk that with the edges, which I did only use the turpentine brush that's on the standard Procreate, which was mixing a lot. But that was the only brush I did use a stubble brush as well for the stubble, because I was just not coming out with the turpentine brush. So what I did wrong, first of all, I forgot to turn on the replay, and as you can see, I lost the first hour of work on the footage, so that kind of sucked. I also didn't properly scale the image to the canvas, and there wasn't a good ratio. So my final product is kind of stretched, which is also seems to be a problem for me in real life when I was doing real life figure drawing. And I also kept forgetting this was just supposed to be a study, so it's a little bit cleaner than a typical study would be. I put extra time and effort into it, which isn't bad, but it kind of defeats the purpose of the study. I mean, you're supposed to learn how the light works on the skin and the different colors and the textures, rather than be spending 3 hours trying to make the teeth look good. So what I did end up learning was that the face has pretty much every color of the rainbow in it, to varying degrees. There are so many different shapes in the face, and particularly the little triangular shapes that you see on the sides of the nose, I didn't really realize were there in the face. And the little dips and the shapes in the neck. So that was definitely interesting. Ultimately, I did learn a bit more about the structure of the face and how it works with the wrinkles and the colors and the way the light reflects differently on different parts of the face. How different parts of the face have different colors. Like there's a little bit of a purplish, greenish twinge on the side of the forehead. The nose is very pink. The cheeks have this kind of orangey color in them. So yeah, ultimately this was a portrait study. Definitely next time I'll want to find a better brush that doesn't mix so much, because it kept picking up the color of the canvas and it kept mixing it a lot, and I just wanted it to go down kind of like acrylic paint and would in real life. I haven't really found a brush that does that yet. And I would also love to do some more studies of the awesome shots in these movies. I mean, there's so many times, particularly in the second movie, there was this one shot that I really would like to do just because I love it so much. But I'm sure there are plenty of different scenes, and the cinematography is just really great. And I would just like to see what else I could learn and better my art skills and just see what else I could do. So yeah, thank you for tuning in and listening to my journey in this study.